June. I am really grateful to all the panelists and our CEO, Sir Mr. Ashish Jain from Healthcare Sector Council for joining on this session. With this, I would like to invite our CEO, Mr. Ashish Jain, to please, start with the session and welcoming all the participants and the panelists for the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And as Anshu mentioned, I think we are all gathered here today. 21st June is, of course, 5 days away. But we thought we'd start, celebrate the week, not just one day. That was the idea. And thank you for all the panelists who agreed to come today and give us their valuable time. So in the panel today, although I'll briefly talk about all the panelists, but as for now to start with, I'll just share the names of them, and then the moment we invite them to speak, probably we'll share more details about each of the panelists. So on the panel today, I think we have a very diverse, experts on this. Of course, there's some specifically from yoga, then we also from Ayurveda and naturopath as well. So I think we have a good set of experts today with us, which will take us through the journey of yoga, how it is useful in current times, and currently, looking at the COVID scenario, although the surge or the peak has gone down now, but I think still how yoga could be relevant for today's time, how yoga could help us, beat COVID or keep the COVID away from us. So I think these are some of the things we're going to talk about today with the panelists, and I'm sure listening to the panelists, we all would be, will have valuable thoughts coming in, which can help us and the country in terms of how we fight, with COVID. So I'm just sharing the names right now. We invite all of them one by one. So we have as a first panelist as Dr. Tanuja Nesri. She is our chairperson for the sub-council on Ayush and also director All India Institute of Ayurveda. Welcome, Dr. Tanuja Nesri. Second panelist we have is Mr. Subodh Tiwari. He is CEO and acting secretary for Kaivalya Dham. He has been associated with us for quite some time and quite an expert. So we look forward to a discussion with you, Mr. Tiwari. The third panelist we have is Mrs. Ekta. She is the coordinator, University Programs Heartfulness Institute. I think the current times, how that course can help us to navigate through the current times. We have another expert from Moraji Desai, National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, Jain. We also have the privilege to have Dr. Satya Lakshmi with us. She is Director, National Institute of Naturopathy, Ministry of Ayush. As panelists today we have, and as a panel, I think we'll go this way that we will request each one of you to have a couple of minutes to start with, and then go into the panel mode. Maybe I already have some questions which have come to us, which we'll be posing for each panelist. But I'll like that. Let's give 1 or 2 minutes to each, 2 minutes to each, to set the context from their perspective, and then we move on to the question and answer session, and then we take it. Finally, we'll take the questions from the participants also here. So to start with, I'll request the chairperson for HSSC Sub-Council on Ayush and Director AIA to give her opening remarks and start the discussion. Dr. Tanuja Nesri, please. Dr. Tanuja, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes. Namaskar. I pranam from All India Institute of Ayurveda and Health Sector Sub-Sector Skill Council on behalf of Ministry of Ayush, Mr. Ashish Jain, Anshu Verma, and all the esteemed panelists, Dr. Subodh Tiwari, Satya Lakshmi from MD-NYN, and it is a highly accomplished panel. I'm really very happy. And thank you, Ashish ji, for inviting me for this, and also organizing very meaningful and very timely panel discussion on the eve of and on the background of a 7th International Yoga Day. And as we, and it's really it is a very high time where we can really develop the various job roles, QPs, which are really complementary and also which are aligned with the Health Sector Skill Council also. And as we have already developed more than 7 QPs which are already registered on at the Ministry of Skill Development portal, and many of our institutions, they are also being accredited, and they are also accredited for getting the courses implemented in their own institutions. And I'm thankful to Health Sector Skill Council for facilitating the institutions for accreditation, for registration, and mainly because this is a very niche area, but Ayush subsector, the paramedical force and the qualifications which were really unorganized. But this is the Skill Sector Council, they have taken up to develop the courses, the QPs, qualification packs on the basis of national occupational standards and based on the national ranking framework. And those qualifications, what the experts and our national institutions and other domain experts, they have developed, the Anshu and the Ashish ji and the Skill Sector Skill Council, and along with All India Institute and many other institutions like National Institute of Ayurveda, ITRA, and the experts from various have been able to develop this QP. And especially for this yoga day, because it is the yoga therapy assistant and the yoga wellness assistant, those many these QPs with the under the chairmanship of Dr. Nagendra ji, Chancellor of DS Vyasa, and all the esteemed experts. Dr. Subodh Tiwari, he is also witnessing, and he will speak more about that. But those QPs have developed, and the intention is to mobilize the manpower. And even in this COVID pandemic, because of the lockdown and many other issues, there is a lot, hundreds and the millions, and the workers, they were also from urban area, they had to shift to the rural India. And if we really this again mobilizing them to the health sector, and which is a need of a time that Ayush also needs more and more skilled manpower for addressing the issues of the health in this COVID pandemic. And it is only Vaidya and the doctors for Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, they cannot really complete that management health system, because the system includes Vaidya, doctor, paramedical staff, that is nurses, paricharak, aushad, and the rugna, that is the patient, as a patient education also. So the Health Sector Skill Council is doing a wonderful job in developing and completing the entire health management system for the Ayush Ministry, where the skilling program are really helping a lot for developing the skilled manpower in a very, very organized way under the vision and the implementation framework of the Ministry of Skill Development and with the help of Ministry of Ayush. So once again, I congratulate. And in this panel discussion, I'm sure the very, very focused and relevant discussion on how the yoga is useful for the holistic health, and how the integration of Ayush system, especially Ayurveda and yoga, and Madam Satyalakshmi may really help how the natural way of integrating the naturopathy and the other systems of Ayush along with the yoga becomes the holistic package for attaining the true health as mental, physical, spiritual, and the social well-being. And lastly, I just would like to say, quote the Patanjali's quotation, because it says that yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena. That says that for chitta vritti nirodha, as yoga says that. So for physical, for spiritual and mental health, holistic Ashtanga yoga and the yoga skilling in the yoga is really very important. One has to really improvise, build the capacity of understanding and practicing yoga abhyas in their day-to-day. Nitya abhyas is really required. But along with that, for the physical health, the Ayurveda and other systems of Ayush needs to be integrated. So it is a high time not only to develop the yoga QPs, also not only stand alone developing the Ayush QPs, but it is a high time to develop Ayur Yoga QPs. So that would really create more and more Arogya Rakshak, which will take care of the Savaso Karod Deshvasi, as per our Honorable Prime Minister's vision. And in this COVID pandemic and in the new normal, like Corona ke saath bhi and Corona ke baad bhi, this is Ayur Yoga is going to take care of each and everyone. Thank you. And I wish you all the success for this panel discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. I think very well said. आपने बिल्कुल summarize बहुत अच्छे से किया कि योगा अभी भी चाहिए और बाद में भी चाहिए और पहले भी चाहिए था. और जैसा कि आपने, जैसे मैंने पहले भी हम जब डिस्कशन करते थे तो ये ज़रूर कितनी बार आया कि योगा एक भारतीय संस्कृति का अभिन्न अंग रहा है हमेशा से, और हमें उसको और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रमोट करना है. कैसे हम उसको अपनी डेली लाइफ के साथ इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं ये देखना है. और आपने जैसे कहा कि उसको पूरे आयुर्वेद के साथ इंटीग्रेट करें. और अभी तो जितना हम लोग जान पा रहे हैं, इतना देख रहे हैं, योगा इज़ ऑल्सो नाउ इंटीग्रेटेड विद दी मॉडर्न मेडिसिन ऑल्सो, because there are research and studies going on कि योगा से कैंसर पेशेंट को पेन में रिलीव करने के लिए क्या क्या कर सकते हैं. So we have come across so many studies now which are being done not only for yoga, for Ayurveda and other. So trying to see how we can integrate best of the two, sciences. So that definitely is the requirement of day. And I think you very rightly pointed out that we are developing roles under yoga as well now. One is already NSQF aligned, and as you're aware, two are also with the NSQC, and I understand there's a mail which has gone through the NCVT today to some of yoga experts to actually for a stakeholder discussion. So that should also see we may more QPs on qualifications in yoga very soon as well. So thank you for your leadership, Dr. Tanuja, for guiding us and leading us in our sub-council efforts. I think we are just your soldiers on ground. It's the advice from the Ministry of Ayush and your vision that we are taking it forward along with the experts from all the 5 verticals of Ayush. So thank you so much. I'll move on to the next panelist today. And he has, while I was reading his profile, I was, I could see that he said, he was born in yogic atmosphere at Kaivalya Dham, Lonavala. So Lonavala definitely is a yogic atmosphere. There's no doubt about it. So very apt place to be in. And yes, and you have in very early age has gone, taken that path, which I think many of us would wanted, but probably could not take or could not have that courage to go on that path for various reasons. So all ears to you, Subodh. Please go ahead and enlighten us, and then we'll move forward. Thank you.
Namaskar and my pranams to all the viewers and the panelists. Sabhi ko pranam. I thank the organizers to have called me here on this interesting panel discussion. Thank you, Ashish. I reiterate each word which Dr. Tanuja has said, and I also congratulate the Health Sector Skill Council to have been doing some very excellent work in a very systematic and a meaningful way. So, aapka abhinandan. Speaking of yoga, I'm here at Kaivalya Dham, Lonavala, in the institution established in 1924. तो पहली बार अगर योग को एक वैज्ञानिक स्वरूप से देखने का प्रयास किया गया तो वो यहाँ किया गया. And our founder Swami Kuvilanand ji actually had a very interesting story or an anecdote to describe yoga therapy. क्योंकि I'll confine myself to yoga because I come from the yoga institution, a scientific and a philosophical background. तो उन्होंने कहा कि देखिए ये this whole world is like a big jungle और आप जब चलते रहते हैं तो there are two options with you. There will be many thorns which start going in your feet, and you have the option that you keep removing each thorn and trying to heal that. Or the second option is that you get some good chappals to wear so that you are protected against the thorns which are already there. So yoga is that protective layer, that preventive aspect, that science and art which ensures that you are able to maintain good physical, mental, emotional and spiritual health. So ये जो dimensions योग के हैं, these have also come to be very effective in the present pandemic for which we are speaking about. Incidentally, जैसे एक 2017 में we had conducted a research on effect of yoga on the cytokines, pro-inflammatory or anti-inflammatory cytokines होते हैं. And in 2017 ये जो publication हुआ peer-reviewed journal में, it said that practice of yoga helps to synthesize, to harmonize the cytokines. अब 2017 का ये research है और अब आप स्थिति देखो जहाँ there is a cytokine storm and so much of mortality had been increased due to this. So eventually it can be safely concluded कि अगर योग अभ्यासी है तो उसमें ये क्षमता है कि वो अपने साइटोकाइन्स या जो इंटरल्यूकिन 6 है या इम्यून सिस्टम रिस्पॉन्स है उसका वो सिंथेसाइज्ड रहेगा, हार्मोनियस रहेगा. So there are many evidences which suggest there is a huge role of a yoga in ensuring that you maintain a very good physical, mental, emotional and spiritual health. मैं हमेशा इसको पूर्ण रूपेण कहता हूँ, मैं ये नहीं कहता हूँ कि there is a compartment of only physical health. That is a kind of a misnomer we have many times about yoga. And there's a huge amount of evidence now which has come in very, very high impact journals about the effectivity. And I'm sure कि अभी भी काफी Ministry of Ayush is doing huge research where we will learn more or how the integrated medicine approach has worked well. So I'm sure this panel is going to be interesting. और जो भी लोग हैं वो उससे लाभान्वित होंगे. And I as a panelist will definitely look forward to my fellow panelists to be throwing more light on their own subjects. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you, Subodh. So before I go to the next panelist, I just wanted to share that we are actually live on YouTube right now. We have many people who are associated with us watching this on YouTube as well. I'll be inviting the next panelist, who is Ms. Ekta. She is the coordinator for University Programs Heartfulness Institute, and she is active trainer for this institute in terms of heartfulness meditation. Yoga is also one group of meditation. Probably she'll be talking more about the meditation, how this could be helpful in today's time. And Ekta ji, over to you.
Namaste, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So a big thank you, Ashish ji, for having me on this panel. And Tanuja ji, I just heard her speak. It was wonderful. Very pleased to be here. And of course, my elder Subodh ji, who is always there for us and who is not only a pleasure to hear, but it always feels like it's very short to hear him. Wish he'd speak more because he's got a lot to convey. Very glad to be on this panel. Why? Because I believe that the work that has been done today by all of you is just scratching the surface. So much to be done in spite of the fact that this is already miles and miles covered. I mean, I know how much work has gone into it. Kaivalya Dham, for example, if you just understand how much in the past over 100 years, an institute like that has been able to contribute. One cannot spend, I think even a lifetime is less to understand the contribution of the lineage of the great masters who have contributed. You know, it's like almost a library by itself. And yet there's so much that remains to be done. So happy to be here with you, but a call that let's all get together and get involved in doing this work with much more, I would say, commitment is required, time is required, depth is required, and Where I believe we can be helped is by bringing with us all the younger generation of people in India to understand that yoga and Ayurveda and all our traditional, I mean, it's a pity to call them alternative health medicines because they are hardly alternative. They are very definitely mainstream, seeing the advantage they can give to a person. I mean, ask a person who's almost losing his life and can suddenly be saved by a few practices, by a few additions, or by having had a good lifestyle, can be, capable of coming back from the door of death. Or if it's a relative or a family member that you love so much and can be saved, then there is no value that you can add to something like this. So I really congratulate the health sector and, of course, Skill Development Ministry for the actual contribution by bringing yoga to the forefront and alternative medicine. It is the beginning. The research is required. And once again, there are several bodies and organizations in conducting this research. Today, Heartfulness Institute, from where I hail and where I come to you from Kanha Shantivanam in Hyderabad today, we are conducting a lot of research into understanding how contemplative sciences can be developed further, the effect on epigenetics, the effect on the way the mind works, and how we can contribute by simple practices. If you understand, when people look at yoga, they feel this looks so simple, how can it be so effective? Well, we need to answer those questions in layman terms for them. Let's pick up meditation, and I'll be very brief about it because we don't have a lot of time. It being Yoga Day, it's more to be together and understand that this is important. However, a quick word about meditation. Meditation has been, for me, a way of life. It's been, Raja Yoga includes several parts and streams of yoga. In fact, if you hear the works of the Patanjali Sutras and the commentaries on them, you understand that each limb of Patanjali is not a step. It's not like one step after the other. It's like a whole universe of practices that blend one into the other. It's like, I cannot separate my mind, body, and soul. I don't know where one stops and the other starts. Similarly, all these practices are mixed with each other. They overlap each other. They bring each other into a blossoming. And meditation is at the heart of it, because when you sit for a while and you can bring your body, your mind, and your spirit to a coherence and still yourself, a lot of magic begins. What up till now was magic has become a scientific understanding today. What happens to our bloodstream? What happens to the hormones? What happens to our internal organs? And what happens most importantly to our psychology? Because somewhere, until and unless we have our inner world regulated, we cannot be in mastery of our physical world. And this is the big thing that our pandemic has brought to the forefront. People speak about immunity all the while. Today, the Ministry of Ayush is conducting this Yoga Day under the theme of Yoga for Wellness, out of sheer necessity, because without this, where would we be with the pandemic? And now there is this fear of more waves coming. We are afraid for our young generation, and we should be. We should be. So meditation is the way to collect ourselves, go within, and begin to start the journey towards health. And when I say health, it's like a global understanding of health, where we have done years of work by contributing towards bringing this practice of meditation in a very simple way, in a very easy way. It's, again, the good things don't come in heavy packages. They come with simplicity. They come with something that each one can do in first few baby steps, and then we can carry it on further in our lives. So it may look like it's very difficult when you're sitting with your eyes closed for a few minutes to start with, and then slowly you can pick it up, and added practices are there. So yoga is not just understanding how to practice. It's not just reading about it. It's in the practical experience. To use yourself, your heart as a laboratory is what my master, my guru, Shri Kamlesh Patel Ji, Daji, has been sharing and inspiring in others, that we need to become scientists ourselves. Our rishis, our sages were scientists. It's not because history brought them down as saints and seers that we should remove the capacity to observe that they develop because of this stilling of the mind. So there's a lot to share in a very little time, and I am very happy to be here. But without taking more, I would say, time, I would just like to bring the notice and attention of everybody that let's get together, whether we are scientists, whether we are contributing to the skill sector, whether we are contributing to the spiritual understanding and growth of humanity. It's the coming together, it's the bringing together of all these people that will create a wave of change in our societies, in our communities. Because still people have a global understanding of what's going to happen and what's coming next in the future. We will not be able to face it. There is such panic today in every sector. And yoga is probably the only one that can infuse all, I would say, sciences, all studies. It's a multidisciplinary study if you look at Patanjali's works. So again, I urge all of us to come together, to share, to understand, to spend more time, and to bring the best that we have forward by contributing. And Ashishji, last thing I'd like to say is, we just conducted a 100-day program called Yoga for Unity and Wellbeing, which was really well appreciated. We have registrations from 159 countries. Kaivalya Dham, for example, as an institute, joined us. We've had the grace and honor of having Subodhji, his esteemed father, Sri O.P. Tiwari ji, and 40 other yoga institutions who joined from all over the globe. So with registrations from 159 countries, without ever advertising for it, we saw just, millions of people join as part of the practices. So every day for 100 days, we've had lectures and, yoga sessions in the morning. And this shows me that there is hope. Why am I mentioning this? Because I think there is hope. There is a lot of hope. If yoga's time is now, and yoga is not an option. This is something that we need to understand. And if we can do that, then India shall lead the world, because it is a heritage. It runs in our blood, just like Sanskrit does. And without Sanskrit, you can't really understand yoga. So going back to our schools, colleges, health sector, we have a lot of work to do. That's why I meant it. And I'm glad to be here. Please, thank you so much for being, having me here today. If there's any questions, I'll take them by email or something. Always pleasure to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Ektaji. I think I completely agree, personally also, that our sages were actually scientists. And I don't know, I somehow feel that whatever we call our dharma or whichever religion today, I think that's also scientific rules which are being provided to us. And we are following it in more, they have been created as dharma so that we can all follow without questioning them. So glad to hear, reiteration of what I personally believe, and you just amplifying those coming from a practitioner herself, an expert. So it seems like I'm thinking in the right direction that way. Thank you so much for your discussion points. I'll move on to our next panelist now. We have Dr. Satya Lakshmi with us. As we said that we are looking at, converging things between different Ayush areas also, and as well as non-Ayush areas, which is the modern medicine or what we call allopathic medicine as well. So we have Dr. Satya Lakshmi. She's Director for National Institute of Naturopathy under Ministry of Ayush. So we'll request her for her opening remarks. Dr. Satya Lakshmi, please.
Yeah. Namaste. Yeah. Am I audible?
You are, Dr. Satya Lakshmi. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, greetings to all of you from National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune. International Day of Yoga has come to, encourage all of us who have been in this field for, hundreds and thousands of years in this country. And now the world has recognized the birth of yoga and made it kind of mandatory to humanity to make use of the benefits offered by yoga. And the esteemed panel that has come today for this discussion already broached the uses of yoga, or how many ways yoga can be incorporated in a day-to-day life. And from a medical point of view, I would like to say that although Patanjali did not, meant it for sick people. In fact, it is meant to be for the people who are really healthy and who are guaranteed of their health or in their journey towards moksha, use the yoga as a tool. But now we are in a bhoga world where we want to enjoy the fruits of the modern civilized society. But yoga has something to offer to everyone. And more so, it brings all the health parameters out into the fore, wherein the disease factors automatically come, crashing down. So that is the beauty of yoga. So how much ever I tell about yoga or anybody else tell about yoga, the benefits will not be appreciated. It is only when one practices the yoga starts showing its real worth. So that is nicely put it. Jnanena iti Sankhya. If you want to learn more knowledge, and you may get Sankhya. I mean the knowledge related bliss. But then yoga offers karmena iti yoga. Only when you do it, you get the benefit. So yogi is a person who is constantly practicing. So IDY comes again and again every year to remind us this particular thing. That is, we are expected to practice it. And this year being yoga for wellness, rightly captured. In the pandemic days, now everybody, kind of realized that you cannot purchase health across the counter. No amount of drugs or hospitals or equipment or material can give us health. It is only our own internal worth will bail us out of this situation. So that can easily be accessed by regular practice. So what to practice? And there's 8 limbs in yoga, and first 2 limbs are really difficult. So we are talking very less about it. And the most easy one and easy to get into the system of yoga is asanas. So we are talking more about asanas and then pranayama. And then in these COVID days, everybody is talking about Brahmari and then Shashankasan, which are really helping even for the people in critical conditions. If that is what yoga can offer, and why not? It costs us nothing, and we are quite tuned to it, having been born in India, and the science is with us. So let's practice it. Thank you very much for inviting me to share my views. Thank you.
Sir, you are on mute. Ashish sir, you are on mute.
I'm so sorry. So our next panelist would be Dr. Khushbu. She's from Morarji Desai, National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Dr. Khushbu, can we hear from you, please? Dr. Khushbu, can you hear us?
Dr. Khushbu Jain, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to say sorry because of some technical problem. My video is not working. Then a very good evening to all my senior panelists and all my viewers. I'm from Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga. And I would like to thank Mr. Ashish Jain, Ashu Verma ji from Health Sector Skill Council for inviting me for this panel discussion. And जैसा कि सभी ने कहा IDY के इस उपलक्ष्य में योग की साधना या योग किस प्रकार इस ग्लोब में, इस वर्ल्ड में आवश्यक है। मैंने जितना मोरारजी देसाई योग संस्थान में रहकर जाना है, योग एक साधना है, जीवन जीने की पद्धति है। इस साधना के इस रास्ते में स्वास्थ्य लाभ तो मात्र एक बाय प्रोडक्ट ही है। राजयोग, भक्ति योग, कर्म योग, देयर आर वेरियस स्कूल्स ऑफ योगा, बट योगा इज टू यूनाइट, जोड़ना। योग का मतलब है जोड़ना। अ ग्रुप ऑफ फिजिकल, मेंटल एंड स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस। स्थूल से सूक्ष्म की यात्रा ही योग है। अन्नमय कोश से आनंदमय कोश की तरफ जाना ही योग है। As you all are aware that we all are facing the pandemic situation globally, इस समय में योग जो है बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है, क्योंकि योग, जैसा कि कैवल्य धाम की रिसर्च से पता चला है कि इम्यून सिस्टम के लिए योग बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, इम्यून सिस्टम की बूस्टिंग के लिए। इनफैक्ट मोरारजी देसाई योग संस्थान ने भी ये अपने अनुसंधान से पता किया है कि प्राणायाम और मेडिटेशन जो है वो योग कोविड-19 के इस पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन में अगर या प्रिवेंटिव एज अ प्रिवेंटिव थेरेपी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले कर सकता है। अदर देन दिस, मैं कहना चाहूंगी योग सिर्फ एक योगासन नहीं, योगासन के साथ साथ उसकी क्लींजिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, षटकर्म, प्राणायाम, मेडिटेशन और उसके साथ ही साथ योगिक डाइट, जिसे हम सात्विक आहार, युक्त आहार या मिताहार की बात कहें, तो इन सबका एक कंप्लीट पैकेज ही योग है। अगर हम सिर्फ योगासन पर ही अटक कर रह जाते हैं तो हम शायद योग के संपूर्ण लाभ से वंचित रह जाते हैं। तो योग जो है एक कंप्लीट साधना का रास्ता है और इसे अपनाने से ही योग जो है कर्म करने से ही प्राप्त किया जा सकता है। तो योग जो है करने से ही हम स्वास्थ्य लाभ को ले सकते हैं।
Thank you, Dr. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Khushbu, for your initial remarks. I think we'll take some questions now. Anybody who has a question can please put in a chat box. We'll take them. In the meantime, Subodh ji, जैसे अभी हम पहले बात कर रहे थे कि आज के समय में स्पेसिफिकली जब कोविड पैंडेमिक है, ऐसे समय में योगा कैसे हम सब लोगों की मदद कर सकता है, कैसे स्पेसिफिकली जो कोविड से ग्रस्त हैं उनकी हेल्प कर सकता है या हमें कोविड से बचा सकता है सबको। तो इस बारे में अगर आप कुछ बताएं तो आई थिंक हम सबके लिए अच्छा होगा। हम उसको प्रैक्टिस कर पाएँ तो शायद उसको काफ़ी हद तक कुछ रोक पाएंगे या हम अपने को बचा पाएंगे। सुबोध जी।
हमारे यहाँ लकीली वी स्टार्टेड कैवल्य धाम अगेन इन अगस्त 2020। तो दोनों हम लोगों ने काफी, हमारे पास करीब 550 पोस्ट कोविड रिकवरी के लिए लोग आ चुके हैं तब से अभी तक। और इसका जो अनुसंधान और रिसर्च व्हाट वी हैव ऑन सिंपल प्रैक्टिसेस व्हिच हैज बीन फाउंड टू बी वेरी इफेक्टिव इन इंडिविजुअल्स सफरिंग फ्रॉम माइल्ड to moderate COVID infection. So lungs are mostly affected, though they are not the only organs which are affected during the infection. Activity level बढ़ाना, वो postures करना जिसमें आपके diaphragm को space मिले, lungs को space मिले, प्राणायामिक practices करना जिससे आपकी लंग कैपेसिटी जो है वो इलास्टिसिटी बनी रहे। दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रैक्टिसेस। आई वुड से प्रिवेंशन तो मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि योग अभ्यास एक जीवन शैली, सो इट्स नॉट लाइक अ पिल कि आप तभी लेंगे जब आपको ठीक नहीं लगता। सो एवरीवन शुड मेक इट अ पॉइंट कि अभी तक नहीं कर रहे हैं, और ऐसे कई लाखों लोग हैं जिन्होंने योग की शुरुआत अभी की। सो दैट इज अ वेरी गुड न्यूज दैट समय खराब है लेकिन शुरुआतें अच्छी हुई। सो adopt practices of asanas, pranayam, shuddhi kriyas, diet regulation, जो योग में प्रिस्क्राइब किया हुआ as part of your daily life। और अगर हमको जानते हैं किसी को हुआ है तो there are specific practices जो कि हमको strain नहीं करती हैं लेकिन लाभान्वित करती हैं during someone who's isolated, who is quarantined, to ensure that his symptoms don't get worse, that his oxygen levels or oxygen saturation is taken care of to a certain extent where it is scientifically possible. I refrain from, giving names कि क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, because many times there is a misunderstanding or you misconstrue what has been said. But definitely these practices should be learned one-to-one. Online medium से भी कर सकते हो. But yes, it has been shown. The data which we have, even case studies which we have published in journals already, have shown that it has been able to manage individuals to deal with the situation in a better way. And lastly, I will say, हम लोग क्या सब lungs physiology की बात करते हैं. आप सोचिए 14 दिन जो भी बीमार होता है, पहले ये होता था कि सब मिलने आते थे, फल फूल लाते थे, साथ में बैठते थे, बातें करते थे, उत्साह बढ़ाते थे. आज की स्थिति ऐसी हो गई है कि आदमी इसीलिए डरता है कि अगर मुझे शक भी हो गया तो मेरे को अकेला कर देंगे, तो मैं आइसोलेट हो जाऊंगा. तो मानसिक संतुलन बिगड़ जाता है. मतलब आजकल हमारे यहाँ यंग जनरेशन आ रही है, 20 साल की 25, they don't know what to do because उन्होंने कभी एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं किया आइसोलेशन इस तरह. So most underlining and important factor is you have to deal with the mind, and this is all perpetual. तो योग अभ्यास जो आपके मानसिक और इमोशनल सपोर्ट मेंटेन कर सकता है, that is also very important. So this is a holistic perspective and we will converse further with other ideas.
एक आपने जैसे कहा कि आप अभी नाम नहीं लेना चाहेंगे कि एग्जैक्टली क्या करना चाहिए, दैट इज वेल अंडरस्टूड. लेकिन किसी व्यक्ति को अगर जानना है क्या करना है तो ये ज़रूरी है कि वो किसी संस्था में जाए, तभी जान पाएगा. जैसे आपने कुछ ऑनलाइन स्टडीज़ की ऑनलाइन बात किया, तो वो कैसे जुड़ सकता है इन ऑनलाइन चीज़ों से, कहाँ ये आपकी वेबसाइट पे कुछ चीज़ें पा सकता है जिससे वो देख के समझ के कुछ अपने आप कर सके, या एक इंस्ट्रक्टर की ज़रूरत होगी जो सिखाए और तभी कर पाएंगे?
देखिए, दो चीज मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि एक तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ आयुष की गाइडलाइंस ऑलरेडी आ चुकी हैं, तो उसको रेफर कीजिए. ऑथेंटिक सोर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इतनी जनसंख्या है कि कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि योग प्रशिक्षक ज्यादा है और करने और सीखने वाले कम है. तो ये सो यू विल हैव टू फर्स्ट इज एंश्योर दैट द सोर्स जो आप ढूंढ रहे हैं वो ऑथेंटिक. दूसरा, आज जैसे केवलधाम की वेबसाइट है और अन्य काफी इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं विच आर वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड, उनके वेबसाइट में जाकर उनके यूट्यूब चैनल्स पर रेफर कीजिएगा. तो देयर आर ऑलरेडी प्रैक्टिसेस व्हिच हैव बीन प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, दे आर सिंपल प्रैक्टिसेस और योग की फंडामेंटल फिलॉसफी और प्रिंसिपल को फॉलो करते हैं, वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. तो इंटरनेट इज अ गुड रिसोर्स. मोस्ट ऑफ दीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आर ऑफरिंग ऑनलाइन कंसल्टेशंस, जो केवलधाम भी कर रहा है, जो मेडिकल कंसल्टेशन भी कर रहा है ऑनलाइन. हम लोग 1-to-1 क्लास भी कर रहे हैं, प्राणायाम की स्पेसिफिक ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी कर रहे हैं. सिर्फ केवलधाम ही नहीं, जो भी अच्छे अच्छे लीडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं वो सभी कर रहे हैं. तो वंस वी आर श्योर व्हाट वी आर लुकिंग एट, वी शुड गो टू देयर वेबसाइट, गो टू द यूट्यूब चैनल एंड डू. सिर्फ एक बात हमेशा ध्यान रखें कि हमारी जो लिमिटेशन है, कोई भी इंडिविजुअल है उसकी लिमिटेशन सिर्फ उसी को पता है. और ऑनलाइन में क्योंकि हमारे पास हमारा टीचर नहीं है, इसलिए दैट बिकम्स रियली डिफिकल्ट. तो हम लोग खुद समझें, जहां हमें कुछ अनकंफर्टेबल लग रहा है कि हमें जानकारी की जरूरत है, जहां लग रहा है कि नहीं हमको प्रश्न पूछना है, प्लीज रिस्ट्रेन फ्रॉम ओवर एक्सर्टिंग एंड आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन टू whoever the teacher is, whoever the person.
ओके. एक आपसे एक और क्वेश्चन है जो कि आया था कि जैसे बीच में हमने सुना योगा ये भ्रम है, कैसे इसको झुटलाया जाए कि जब हम ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज करते हैं तो जो कोरोना वायरस है वो लोअर लंग में ट्रैवल कर जाता है. तो इस पे आप क्या कहेंगे, कैसे इसको समझाएंगे कि ऐसा नहीं है, या इसमें कितना सच्चाई है या बिल्कुल गलत है, कि आप क्या कहेंगे इस बारे में?
I think this is a very good question. I should say that. देखिए, let's understand the physiology. जो the lobes हैं वो common air supply है through the bronchites, चाहे वो upper lobe हो चाहे lower lobe हो. Bronchites से आपकी breathing in and out होता है. But they are separated by pleura and the lung tissues. तो pleura और lung tissues जो आपके lungs के हैं वो अलग है. अब अगर आप theoretically जाएं तो most of the airborne infections, सिर्फ ये नहीं, most of the airborne infection can reach to your lower lobes. ये क्षमता हर एक को इन्फेक्शन में है, ये theoretical possibility. लेकिन ये भी ध्यान रखें कि टिश्यूज से और प्लूरा से वो एक्सचेंज नहीं हो सकता। तो एंड ऑफ द डे द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ इन्फेक्शन डूइंग प्राणायाम या रेगुलर ब्रीदिंग इज सेम, क्योंकि आप जब सांस भी ले रहे हैं तो चीजें अंदर जा रही हैं, ब्रोंकाइल्स के थ्रू ट्रैवल कर रही हैं। हाउएवर, टू आंसर द इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन कि अगर आपने समझिए प्राणायाम किया तो क्या आपकी रिस्क बढ़ रही है क्या? देखिए, कोविड इन्फेक्शन जिसको निमोनिया हुआ है, मतलब ये है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम लोअर लोब में होते ही, जो आप सीटी स्कोर करते हैं उसमें आपको चारों का दिखता है, तो लोअर लोब में 1, 2, 3, 4 डिपेंडिंग ऑन द सीवियरिटी रहता है। So it reaches the lower lobe irrespective of whether you are practicing pranayam or. अब स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन आंसर करने के लिए कि अगर आपको नहीं हो रहा है और प्राणायाम करके होने की संभावना है कि अगर ये प्रश्न है, तो इसमें हम ये समझें कि इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट ट्रेडिशनल प्राणायामिक प्रैक्टिसेस फोर्सफुल इनहेलेशन और फोर्सफुल एक्सहेलेशन की बात नहीं करते हैं। They speak of दीर्घकाल, they speak of deeper but slower inhalation. So there is no forced inhalation. Exhalation है, कुछ practices जैसे कपालभाति, भस्त्रिका, इसमें exhalation is forceful, inhalation is not. तो इसलिए वो संभावना बहुत घटती है, because you are trying to increase the elasticity by deeper but not forceful inhalation. That is the way you practice traditional pranayama. So I would say that जो आप regular breathing करते हैं उसमें भी possibility है, but pranayam has an advantage that you are able to enhance the elasticity of the lungs. You make it, and वो आप immediately देख सकते हो, like the evidence which is coming forward. किसी का 94 ऑक्सीजन सैचुरेशन हुआ, उसने 15 मिनट प्राणायामिक प्रैक्टिसेस की अच्छे टेक्निक से, क्योंकि हठप्रदीप का टेक्स्ट emphasizes प्राणायामेन युक्तेन सर्वरोगक्षयो भवेत् आयुक्तानाम अभ्यास योगेन सर्वरोग समुद्र भवेत्. Technique has to be right. That is what is emphasized, and we have seen in places like Bombay Hospital, केवलधाम में, Mumbai had a large COVID center in NCPA जहाँ पे हजार लोग प्रैक्टिस करते थे. We saw, आप काफी केसेस में 94 से 96 तक पहुंच गया ऑक्सीजन सैचुरेशन just by practice. So this is an evidence which you will understand that it is not a risk factor to take the infection from this upper lobe to the lower.
Okay, thank you सुबोध जी. डॉक्टर खुशबू, जैसे हम कहते हैं योगा से हम अपनी इम्यूनिटी बूस्ट कर सकते हैं, एंड आई थिंक इसके बारे में काफ़ी मैसेजिंग भी हो रही है और काफ़ी आई थिंक अवेयरनेस भी क्रिएट की जा रही है. तो आपका क्या कहना है इस बारे में, कैसे हम योगा से अपनी इम्यूनिटी को बूस्ट कर सकते हैं और क्या चीज़ें करें जिससे कि हम अपनी इम्यूनिटी योगा के साथ साथ बूस्ट कर पाएं? हमें ऐसा क्या करना होगा जिससे कि हम देखें कि सब लोगों की इम्यूनिटी बूस्ट हो सके योगा के साथ? जी
बिल्कुल. योग, जैसा कि मैंने बोला है कि योग जो है इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ फिजिकल, मेंटल एंड स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस. योग जो है एक संपूर्ण विधा है जिसमें हम शारीरिक, मानसिक और आध्यात्मिक स्तर पर प्रैक्टिसेस करके और इन तीनों को ही स्ट्रॉन्ग करते हैं. तो अगर हम देखें इम्यून सिस्टम हमारा जो है वो कुछ ऑर्गन सिस्टम जिसमें हमारे स्प्लीन और लिम्फ नोड्स और इस तरह की कुछ ऑर्गन्स आते हैं, और साथ में हमारी वाइट ब्लड सेल्स और वाइट ब्लड सेल्स हमारे लिम्फोसाइट्स, उसके अलावा हमारे एंटीबॉडीज और कॉम्प्लीमेंट सिस्टम, अ बिग सिस्टम इम्यून सिस्टम. तो इम्यून सिस्टम को बूस्ट करने के लिए अगर हम देखें तो ये पाया गया है बहुत सारे रिसर्चेस के थ्रू या अनुसंधान के थ्रू कि इम्यून सिस्टम जो है वो स्ट्रेस के प्रति बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट होता है, और स्ट्रेस जो है इम्यूनो सप्रेशन का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है. जिस तरह की योग जो है एक माइंड बॉडी थेरेपी है, तो ये पाया गया है कि योग जो है अगर स्ट्रेस, योग में स्पेशली हमारे प्राणायाम प्रैक्टिसेस और हमारे मेडिटेशन, ध्यान जो है उसे करने से हमारे स्ट्रेस लेवल में बहुत रिडक्शन आती है, बहुत अच्छे लेवल पे कमी आती है, जिसकी वजह से इम्यून सिस्टम को बूस्ट किया जा सकता है. ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट कारण है. उसके अलावा योग में हम अगर योगिक डाइट की बात करें, सात्विक आहार की अगर हम बात करें, तो इम्यून सिस्टम के लिए आजकल सभी योग डाइट की बात करते हैं कि विटामिन सी लीजिए, लेमन जूस पीजिए, या फिर जिंक टैबलेट्स हैं, बहुत सारी मात्रा में आजकल सब लोग ये सप्लीमेंट्स ले रहे हैं. जबकि ये चीजें जो है योगिक डाइट में या सात्विक आहार में हमें पहले ही बताया गया है कि हम इस तरह का सात्विक आहार लें जिसमें हमारा होलसम फूड हो, स्वीट, लुब्रिकेटेड या मिताहार हो, जिसे लेकर हम जो हमारी वाइटलिटी को इम्प्रूव करे, जिसकी वजह से हम इम्यूनिटी को बूस्ट कर सकते हैं, या अपने इम्यून सिस्टम में जो हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम, विटामिन सी जो है एंटीऑक्सीडेंट है बहुत अच्छा, और जिंक जो है वो भी हमारे एंटीऑक्सीडेंट प्रॉपर्टीज है उसकी, इस तरह की चीजों को बूस्ट करता है। तो योगिक डाइट से भी हम इस चीज को इनको इम्प्रूव, अपने इम्यून सिस्टम को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। तो ये उसके अलावा हमारी बहुत सारी क्लींजिंग प्रैक्टिसेस हैं जिन्हें हम षटकर्म कहते हैं योग में, जिसमें हमारी नेकी, धौती, गस्ती, ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस, कपालभाति, त्राटक, तो इन सब में बेसिकली ये सारी क्लींजिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, दीज क्लींजिंग प्रैक्टिसेस हेल्प टू डिटॉक्सिफाई आवर बॉडी, जिससे हम बहुत हद तक कोशिश कर सकते हैं अपने टॉक्सिन्स को रिमूव करके और बेटर इम्यून सिस्टम को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए। तो ये सारी विधाएं योग में दी गई हैं जिसकी वजह से हम अपने इम्यून सिस्टम को बूस्ट कर सकते हैं।
Thank you, Khushbu ji. There is another question around डॉक्टर सत्यलक्ष्मी, जैसे हमने पहले बात किया कि कैसे हम नेचुरोपैथी और योगा को, क्या इसका कोई समागम हो सकता है, क्या कोई इसका मिक्सचर हो सकता है कि दोनों चीज़ें कॉम्प्लीमेंट करें चीज़ों को करंट सिनेरियो में, आज के समय में? आप क्या देखते हैं कि दोनों अलग अलग पैथ ही चलेंगी या दोनों को मिला के कुछ किया जा सकता है?
I would say that this is the beautiful combination or the best blend that could have happened, happened in almost more than 100 years now. As early as 1920s, it was included in the curriculum of Nature Cure in India. Because the early naturopaths, they could realize the worth and potential of yoga as a therapeutic tool. So in all naturopathy centers across the country, they use yoga extensively as a therapeutic tool to bring in changes from within. So yoga and naturopathy are the the best complementary systems wherein there is no external aid is needed, and it is presupposed that your body is all powerful and every and any medicine can be produced by your body at appropriate time and quantities. So that is what is possible by invoking or activating the internal wisdom that the body has at a cellular level to the overall body. So it works not just at physical level, as rightly put it by Subodh ji. It varies from person to person, but definitely it works at body level, mind level, and soul level. Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Tanuja, एक chat box में आपने सवाल देखा होगा. Somebody has asked that his father got infected with COVID after even 2 doses of vaccination, which is possible, so vaccination does not say that you'll not get, infected. But now, Dr. Tanuja, I think the question is, after the post-COVID kind of thing, he has a new problem called peripheral neuropathy. Is there any treatment for this in Ayurveda?
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Tanuja.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Tanuja.
Okay. As per the due to the COVID complication, like because of the inflammatory response and the cytokine storm, there is a target organ damage. And especially if there is a comorbid condition like diabetes and heart disease and others, so maybe early signs and symptoms of peripheral neuropathy are being seen, where there is a burning, then the loss of sensation and other symptoms like peripheral neuropathy. So Ayurveda really has a very good complete holistic package for that. Basically, this is a disease because of excessive vata and dominated by kapha. So with the expert consultation of Vaidya, physician, we can recommend the external applications like Utpartana, that is a body polishing, and if it is more of the outer type, or that we have to see the underlying the pathology, and followed by the massage Abhyangam, and the oral ashwagandha, the shumulkwat, and various combinations are really helpful to come out of this situation. In fact, I must say that the Ayurveda is the one which really offers a very confident solution for this complaints.
Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. I could see one hand raised by Neeru Singh. Do you have any question, Neeru Singh? Neeru ji, do you have any question?
नो सर, अरे ये माइक क्यों नहीं ऑन हो रहा?
माइक ऑन है मैम, आवाज आ रही है आपकी? Okay, so I think we'll move on to the next one then. I think we are already at 5, so we'll be concluding it. So before we conclude, I just would like to go along to all of my panelists for one last question, which is common for everyone. Is like, for International Yoga Day, what will be your one message for all of us participants as well as country, which can be amplified and which can be very useful for all of us in our lives? Subodhji, will start with you. Subodhji, you're on mute.
Yeah. So I simply say that the International Day of Yoga should be celebrated either to reiterate that we will continue to practice yoga throughout the year, or culminate something which a target which you have set for a year कि चलिए आप इतनी progress कर लीजिए. So finally just understand it should be your lifestyle. जिस तरह सुबह उठ के आप टूथब्रश करते हैं, उस तरह ही हम योग को अपनाएं. सीरियस होने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिंसियरली जरूर करें. That is the only thing which I need to say. Thank you.
I think very simple and very easy to follow, but I think when we go for following it, it becomes difficult sometimes. So, but yes, if we can do this properly, this can make a lot of difference. Okay, Dr. Satya Lakshmi, last word from you on your message for all the participants here.
Yeah. Last year, in spite of the COVID conditions, the numbers that are available with our ministry is almost 13 crores plus people participated in IDY last year. If that is the situation this year, as we are getting more and more information, we are much more than that. So if that is the that kind of encourages everyone to see the trends. People are wanting to be self-reliant with regard to health needs. So I definitely see a future. And then every year on IDY, it only makes us rededicate ourselves to the cause of yoga. So this year also we are celebrating it by reminding ourselves yoga for wellness. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Khushbu, your last comments, please.
जैसा कि सुबोध सर ने बोला, वैसे ही योग को अपनाकर ही हम उसके समुचित लाभ को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. तो सच्ची IDY का सेलिब्रेशन तभी संभव है जब हर व्यक्ति योग को अपनाए, अपने जीवन में उतारे और इसके समुचित लाभ को प्राप्त करें.
Thank you, Khushbu ji. Dr. Tanuja, in your capacity as chairperson for the sub-council and your capacity as director, Ministry of Ayurveda, representative Ministry of Ayush, what will be your message to all of us for this auspicious day, in a sense that I think has been a great achievement of Ministry of Ayush, that with the efforts of the Honorable Prime Minister, we could get this day as International Yoga Day. So what will be your suggestion for all of us?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. please.
Yes. So my suggestion is, along with COVID appropriate behavior, please follow Ayurveda and yoga appropriate behavior. And on this International Yoga Day, let us take all of us, the oath is yoga, as the earlier speaker mentioned, that yoga and Ayurveda should not become like only the ritual, but it should become the habit of the life, and it is yoga for all. But we must say that on this platform, this yoga for life, Ayurveda is for the life, because if the life is there, there will be livelihood. And that's what in this COVID pandemic, we have learned this lesson. So let us make it as a habit for us to practice yoga and to practice Ayurveda as a diet, lifestyle, and immunomodulatory measure. That's my message. And let our life become our message to others. So on this platform of Skill Council, Ayush Sector Skill Council, let us develop and mobilize and develop the capacity of each and everyone, create more and more awareness through this platform, so that the yoga and Ayurveda becomes the habit of everyone for the true and holistic health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tanuja. I'll just sum up by saying that I think we have got a lot of important information today from all our experts. And what we could see is, I think the message which we are getting across is that yoga का सबको अपनाना होगा, तभी हमें समझ में आएगा कि योगा की वैल्यू क्या है, योगा का फायदा क्या है. खाली बात करने से और टीवी पे योगा किसी को करते हुए देखने से कुछ नहीं होगा. तो हमें अपने आप योगा करना होगा अगर उसका फायदा हमें चाहिए. तो ये मैसेज बिल्कुल क्लियर है. और आई बिलीव जो इंटरनेशनल योगा डे हम सेलिब्रेट करते हैं वो इसी का एक चिन्हित कर रहे हैं कि अगर हम ये सब करना शुरू करें, एक बार करें, तो शायद हम इसे अपने जीवन में ला सकें. और इसको एक बार नहीं, रोज करें, हर बार करें, तो शायद इतनी सारी चीज़ें हमारे आजकल हर इतनी सारी बीमारियां से ग्रस्त है शरीर हमारा, उनसे हम बच सकें. अपनी, जैसे एक पैनलिस्ट ने बोला, इम्यूनिटी डेवलप होगी, योगिक डाइट है. सो योगा के इतने सारे रूप हैं, इतनी सारी चीज़ें हैं जिसको उसका थोड़ा थोड़ा भी अपनाना शुरू करें तो शायद एक हम स्वस्थ जिंदगी गुजार सकते हैं. हम किसी बीमारी आने से पहले ही अपने को इतना मजबूत कर सकते हैं कि हमें कोई बीमारी छू ही नहीं पाएगी. ये एक ऐसी साइंस हमारे पूर्वज हमें दे गए, हमारे साइंटिस्ट हमें दे गए. अब इसे सिर्फ बाहर के लोग अपना रहे हैं, हमें अपनाने की ज़रूरत है कि हम इसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपनाएं. जैसे डॉक्टर सत्यलक्ष्मी ने कहा, पिछले साल 13 करोड़ लोगों ने किया था. आई एम श्योर इस साल और ज़्यादा लोग करें, अपने घर में रह के करें. क्योंकि जैसे डॉक्टर तनुजा ने कहा, कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर हमें रखना है, तो चाहे अपने घरों में करें, ऑनलाइन करें, कैसे भी करें, इसको करें ज़रूर. करने का फ़ायदा ज़रूर होगा और आपको फ़ायदा दिखाई देगा, और हम सब इसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपनाएं. इस मैसेज के साथ, थैंकिंग ऑल माई पैनलिस्ट एंड ऑल आवर पार्टिसिपेंट्स फॉर पार्टिसिपेटिंग टुडे. थैंक यू एवरीवन. And just to inform each one of you, and it's going live also as I told you earlier, we are going to organize series of such panels and the discussions with the yoga experts, yoga gurus over this week now, and will culminate with 21st June on a demonstration kind of a thing which will be done through an experts again. We are trying to follow जो सुबोध जी ने कहा कि online भी available है, so we are going to do an online demonstration for all our participants who can join on YouTube or on this channel, on our link or on our channel, are most welcome. Because योगा करने से ही आएगा, तो हम उसको करना चाहते हैं, उसको दिखा रहे हैं और कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग खुद भी करेंगे, आप भी करें. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much everyone.